Welcome to another episode of the OMEN Esports Report here in the beautiful Gfinity Arena, where we're bringing you 50 minutes of all things esports. Now, unfortunately, my partner in crime, Lottie Van Praag, can't be with us tonight, so what I did what I do best. I picked up my phone. I got one of the best in the business to come and join us today. So please welcome Rachel Stringer. How you doing? Welcome along.
Thank you for calling me, but let's just kind of get one thing straight. You didn't just call me once. No. 3 calls, 2 WhatsApps, a text, and even a DM on Twitter, was it?
I just picked up my phone. I had a job to do, and I got it done. Okay?
Well, thank you so much for having me here, and I have some pretty big shoes to fill, all right? We have so much coming up, so let's take a look at what we have in store tonight.
Here's what we've got in store for you on today's show. We'll be returning to the Headshot Challenge. We learn the story of new arena shooter Splitgate. And there's plenty to look forward to in the month ahead. Incredible stuff to bring you today. As you can see, Rachel, your first show, what are you looking forward to most?
Well, it's so much, but I think there's one thing called the Rocket League Challenge, which you've got going here. And isn't Team Lottie, isn't she like 1-0 up from the first show? And obviously I'm Team Lottie, so
I mean,
kind of in the lead, aren't I?
Thanks for bringing that up again, and really good to have you here, Rachel. Thank you so much. I'm going to put it right today. Don't worry about it. Roll the titles. Let's kick things off with the biggest headlines that have been making the news last month. 60 seconds on the clock, please. Here we go.
G2 Esports secure an EU victory at the mid-season Invitational.
Rainbow Six Siege continues its amazing rise in popularity.
Team Liquid take the top prize of $250,000 at the ESL Pro League Finals.
Vitality break North American hearts as they secure the RLCS Season 7 Championship. Go on, boys!
Optic Gaming's parent company bought by Immortals Gaming Club.
Valve and Riot Gaming announced their own versions of the popular auto chess game.
Blast Pro Series announced September event in Moscow.
Ferrari are announced as the latest team to join the Formula 1 Esports Series.
And Riot released details of 2019 Worlds dates and locations. Woo, so much.
There's always so much. I mean, it's only a month.
What's your pick?
What month did we hear last time? My pick?
Yeah.
I got to say, Rocket League. RLCS champions, Vitality, the European boys. As it said just there, breaking North American hearts. What else can I say? What about you? I'm
going to say that it's Ferrari joining F1 because now we have all the 10 manufacturers on the grid for that date in July, which is so exciting.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge news. But one piece of news that we couldn't possibly fit into just 60 seconds were all of the exciting reveals that took place at E3 this month. So we put all of our favourite things into a handy video for you. So let's take a look at what's got us a little bit hot under the collar. Let's have a look.
I have so many things I want to ask
Hello,
you.
Infinite.
I haven't got your time, though, because you have to go up there, so see you in a little bit. Right, now Mark's gone, we can play the clip of the real winner of E3. And it could only be one thing, yeah, it could. This is what went down when Hollywood A-lister Keanu Reeves got heckled during the Cyberpunk 2077 reveal. This is so cool.
The feeling of being there, of walking the streets of the future, is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
So here we are. We are here.
Breathtaking! You're so breathtaking.
You're breathtaking, Rachel. Everyone at home is breathtaking as well. What a fantastic moment it was to see Keanu Reeves on that stage at E3 doing what he does best. But we're here at the Control Centre, and it is time to talk about all of the social media happenings that have been happening around the globe in the world of esports. And we're going to start off with something very, very simple today. We're going to be starting off with the OMEN by HP sponsored Team Empire celebrating their success at the Rainbow Six Series Pro League Finals. We can take a look at that right here because, you know, the guys obviously had a fantastic time. They won Pro League Season 9 and they actually were kind enough to put together a little message for us. So let's take a very quick look.
Hi to everyone watching the OMEN Esports Report, and thank you guys all for the support. Pro League 9 finals were an incredible experience, and the last game versus Evil Geniuses was very close to losing, but we managed to secure, and we save our spot in finals and bring home the title. So make sure, guys, you tune in and support us in Pro League 10 finals in Japan. Good luck.
Huge congratulations to the guys, obviously picking up their championship. The next thing that we do want to look at is a little bit of spicy business actually going down. It was pretty funny, to be honest with you, between G2 and Splice. You can see the first tweet here that kind of sparked everything off. It's recently come to our attention that you've been grinding team fighter tactics. Please stop. Sincerely, management. Now, Splice, being Splice, feeling, you know, a little bit fruity maybe on this day, just replied with, don't stop. Sincerely, please, every other LEC team. This wasn't the end of it, though. It just continued. Dear Splice, please don't hijack our statements. Sincerely, PR team. As you can see here, please don't hijack our team's middle laners. It gets a little bit more spicy. Your mid laner has nothing to worry about. And then Splice saying, yeah, you're right. It seemed pretty easy for him, and you'll see why in just a second, because, well, you can see it for yourself. You know, Splice's mid laner having a pretty good time at things. But then, you know, G2 fired back once more. This is what we call strategic inting. And then got to put the int onto international success somehow, I suppose. Then the hammer blow comes in from G2. Not you guys know a lot about success, and Splice had absolutely nothing to say in response to that. Jeff Goldblum pretty much saying exactly what Splice were thinking. So the next thing that we're going to be seeing is from the man, the myth, the legend, that is Tyler T1. And he received a surprise package in the post from esports powerhouse SK Telecom T1. But what was inside? Well, let's find out.
This note says, Tyler, in celebration of our recent LCK Spring Split victory, T1 would like to present you this gift. T1 recognizes T1. Wait. Notice how much taller I am than him as well. Thank goddamn no. And a take! I'll BRB. Tyler! One! And woo! Let's go!
Honestly, some of the noises that Tyler T1 makes, there are no words to describe them, but obviously he was pretty hyped about that situation. The next thing that I've been keeping my eye on is the prize fund for the International in 2019. So I'm going to say that I've created this. I haven't. This wonderful graph here. It's a compendium watch to show you why it is so exciting right now. We're on day 48. This is a comparison of day 48 for the prize pool total every year since 2015. And as you can see right now, 2019 is looking like a bumper year for Dota Esports. The International, obviously one of the biggest events of the year, and that's going to look absolutely superb. Time for a little bit of an OMEN by HP update now to give you guys a little bit of an insight on what's been going on in the world of OMEN. The finals of the OMEN Challenger UK League of Legends tournament, in partnership with Curry's PC World, took place this weekend live on Twitch. We saw an epic final showdown, with Send claiming the title and winning themselves an Obelisk Gaming desktop. Thank you to everyone who entered and took part, and a big shout out to runners-up My Terrible Name and Caberos. Obviously a huge congratulations to our champions there and everyone that was involved, but it's time to keep the show moving. So Rachel, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, there is still loads to come in the show, including that Rocket League challenge between me and Mark, which I cannot wait for, and you'll all be wanting to pay particularly close eye on that. Well, why, you ask? Well, it's because it's your chance to win a load of prizes, and they are pretty good. All you have to do is correctly predict whether Team Mark or Team Lottie, that's my team, will win the Rocket League Challenge. Details on how to enter are on the screen right now. Do join us for that. OK, right, this is the part of the show that I cannot wait for. It's time to introduce our guests. Here they are, all lovely and waiting on the sofa, guys. Yes, give them a round of applause. We have Sko, Jari, Scissors and Stumpy. Whoa, how are you guys all doing?
Everyone.
Hi.
Good, thank you.
You're all kind of waiting and like, just waiting for us to come over.
Waiting patiently over here, yeah.
I'm out of breath because I just ran down some stairs. That's to be expected.
A great entrance, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have you all been busy? All been busy?
Yeah, it's very busy for us, particularly in World of Warcraft right now. There's been a big patch release just actually today in Europe, so 8.2 came out. And there's a big raid race coming up in about 3 weeks that we're all kind of hands on deck right now preparing for.
We're so lucky to have you here then, if that's all kind of happening. Have you onto our sofa. We're just like, well, thank you.
It's so true. Obviously, we're going to start off with you two, if that's OK with you. Sure. I believe that we've got a little package.
We have. We're not trying to embarrass you. We just kind of pick some of your best bits.
Setting the scene, setting the scene.
So if you don't know much about Sko and Jari, then take a closer look at this.
Falling down. Enough it goes. Dharma streaming. Let's go.
Got him. And champion.
Do we see the arm?
Yes!
There it is. You have the world first kill going the way of the method.
I mean,
There were two very distinct noises there, by the way. One was, the other one was, come on! That was pretty much it. So.
Well, I think by looking at that, you use the hashtag method way, and that's kind of your way. I love seeing that.
I mean, yeah, those clips are definitely more of the exciting ones, I guess you could say.
Now, Sko, obviously, we want to talk a little bit about Method. Sure. Tell us a little bit about the story, how it came about, and your involvement yourself.
So I started Method when I was in secondary school. This is back in 2005. It was a World of Warcraft guild back then. If we fast forward to today, it's 75 players over 9 different teams. Content creation is like our absolute core. That's really what we focus on. And we're actually one of the most viewed teams on Twitch right now, esports teams out there. But not just that, we're also very interested in exploring the angle of doing like our own events. It's something we've been doing actively with the Race to World First events, the last 2 we did. And some stuff we've done in the past, so that's definitely something we're going to be exploring a lot more in the future. I
just want to kind of just touch on, you started it at like high school.
Yeah, so
not many people just start kind of
like,
this business at high school. Like, why is that something you wanted to start?
Honestly,
how did you get into it?
I was 16 when I got into it, when I first created the guild. Honestly, back then I was playing a lot of strategy games, and I moved into Dota. And so I actually thought World of Warcraft was going to be like a bigger, improved version of Dota. It wasn't quite like that, but at the same time, it was the first ever MMORPG I ever played. And so I was instantly hooked. Like, I instantly fell in love with the game. And as I went through the game and progressed more and more, I realized that I actually want to achieve everything that I can in this game. So the first goal for us was to try and be the best guild in the server. And that's what I remember whispering, like, everyone in the server back then, like, join my guild, we're going to be the best. It's going to be the best guild.
You got to set yourself up.
And it kind of just took off from then. We started, competing on the world stage, getting a lot of world first kills and picking up a lot of traction that way. Like, even back then, before Twitch was a thing, some of our YouTube videos were racking up like millions of views and stuff. So that's kind of how we really started picking up.
I bet some people are kicking themselves who didn't join your guild.
It's a very good point.
I should have joined in.
One other thing is, obviously, it's not just World of Warcraft. You have kind of explored some other esports as well. I know that Stumpy at the end there had the opportunity to cast over some of your Rocket League players. How did you find that experience?
Yeah, the Rocket League in particular you mentioned has been great. Like in season 4 of the G-Finite Elite Series, so actually right here where we're recording this show, the Method Rocket League team actually managed to pick up the trophy. So that was a very proud moment for sure. That was awesome. But no, we're definitely interested in exploring, popular esports titles for sure. Our base is always going to be World of Warcraft. That's kind of where we came from, and we still are trying to push that game as much as we can, because that's we love it basically, right? So, but focusing on like the MMORPGs or RPG kind of like sectors of gaming is really a big focus for us going forward. So we moved into Path of Exile recently. We're very excited for things like Diablo 4, obviously World of Warcraft Classic coming out. It's just a really exciting time for us in general, so we'll be doing a lot of stuff there.
And Jari, like, you're sitting there as well with your Method t-shirt on, I love it. Just when did your involvement start with Method and your kind of journey, I guess, to becoming part of it?
Yeah, I guess that happened, say, like 3.5 years ago or so when I met Sko at DreamHack, and he was telling me about all of the plans that he had to grow Method and how he created the guild and he wanted to bring it out from being just a guild into an organization. And he was talking to me about inviting streamers to come play under the Method banner. And I was like, hey, I'm a streamer. I'm playing on Warcraft. Pick me.
Please, me.
So, yeah, that's kind of where our stories began.
And you guys sitting there going, pick me now as well. We're streamers too. Like, can we join?
I never played World of Warcraft, but if you want a low-skill Rocket League streamer, I'm your guy. That's all I'm saying.
We're really selling it.
That's all I mean, no, I'm great at Rocket League. I'm world
I mean,
top.
you were talking about low-skilled things. Let's talk about high-skilled things. I wanted to ask you, Jari, about the race to first, because this is something that you guys have been heavily involved with, and you've had a lot of success with at Method.
Yeah, the Race to World First is like this really unique community-driven event where the top teams in the world of Warcraft compete to kill an end boss at the highest difficulty first in the world.
Sounds easy.
And I can say, as both a girlfriend of a raider and somebody who has commentated and watched these events happen, it is quite an intense.
I can imagine.
Yes,
I mean, even you just talking about it, it's like I am terrified.
Yeah, these raiders are playing like anything like 14, 15 hours a day, just hacking away at the same boss, trying to kill it first, and
with healthy food and sleep breaks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's very healthy.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah, 16 hours a day, guys. Is that something that you two could ever do?
No.
Your face lit up. You're unlucky.
Yeah, I would totally do that. Yeah.
It's a
I'm
lot
not
of
even like
dedication.
awake for like 16 hours like, on a normal day, let alone like playing like that.
And Sko, like, just tell us how successful Method have become, because it's usually like Method versus Method in finals, isn't it?
Yeah, so in other elements of
That's like the easiest final to watch ever, by the way.
You know who's going to win. You're betting on that one.
In other elements of World of Warcraft, there's like the player versus player element, and there's also something called the MDI, the Mythic Dungeon Invitational, where basically 5 players race against another 5 players to go through a dungeon as fast as possible. Blizzard have really started to push that in terms of the esports program. It's a very popular kind of concept. And yeah, Method has a North American team and a European team on both the PvP side of the game and also the MDI side of the game. So most recently, the MDI finals in Australia had Method NA versus Method EU in the finals.
Honestly, how easy was that to watch?
It was actually it was a shock result. Because,
I bet the semi-finals was
It was a shock result.
It was actually a total shock result because Method EU had actually been completely undefeated up until this point. Like they'd faced Method NA many times in like the smaller cups, and they'd beaten them every single time. They were undefeated record-wise. They had 12-0, and then they go into the grand finals on the the most important major cup that's come up so far. And Method NA actually managed to take them out.
I mean, if one of your teams is going to have a little bit of disappointing run, they might as well lose to your own team, right? It's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's good.
I think there's still definitely an aspect of rivalry between the teams. Obviously, they want their particular group of people that they play with all the time to win, right? So even if it is a Method versus Method final, they still want to win.
It's very competitive, especially.
Yeah, 100%.
It's kind of like this across all esports. Like North America versus Europe is a very competitive element.
Oh, yeah.
But in World of Warcraft, it's extremely competitive across NA, EU. So it's fun. But off the game, they're all really good friends. We all hang out together at like events and stuff. So.
Well, you did mention one thing there. You said interesting concepts. And the reason that I bring that up, I know it's a little bit of a tenuous link there, but there was an interesting quote that came from Blizzard recently. And it looks like we might be seeing some new games and genres coming out from them soon. So we had some thoughts about what we might see. And we've, in a very funny way, called it the Blizzard Forecast.
Oh, I love that.
How good is that? That's pretty good. So let's open it up. Let's open up the floor. I mean, what are we thinking? Blizzard game titles?
Well, Jari said something out the back earlier.
Yeah,
you and your friends were chatting, weren't you?
Yeah, one of my friends, he mentions every year when BlizzCon comes around, oh gosh darn it, they didn't announce like Blizzard All-Stars Racing. But realistically, I think that we'd be more likely to expect an OHS.
I mean, that is the popular thing at the moment. So that could quite happen.
I'm just very excited for Warcraft 3 Reforged, honestly.
As long as there's word Warcraft in it,
that's already been announced, Scott.
Before World of Warcraft, that's where I spent all my time, basically, was Warcraft 3. So for that game to come out again, I think it's one of the best strategy games ever made, so I'm really excited for it.
And go on, yeah.
We had some ideas as well, didn't we?
Ours was kind of like... basically, let's have a look.
This is one I think that Stumpy would enjoy. There it is, Just Dance World of Warcraft.
I'm actually really good at, I'm good at Dance Dance Revolution.
I thought you were going to say I'm really good at dance-offs. Like, they just break out and you just strut into me.
With the cardboard out and just freestyle. No, I'd have a go at Just Dance. I've got too excited every now and then, and I bump my head on like lights and stuff.
You are like 9 foot tall, to be fair.
Yeah, touch over 9 foot.
You can't say that and not just get up and show us.
I know. Come on, that's your
I mean,
floor.
come on.
I'm not crazy.
please.
I'm not crazy. I mean,
We wouldn't make you do that. We would make you do
thank
that.
you.
It's pretty stressful.
the insurance is
Susan,
not
what-
high enough here.
Is there one that you like a game that you really enjoy?
To be honest, I would actually play like Blizzard, like Racing All Stars. I love a racing game, so
Arcade
yeah, I'd
racing
totally
games
play
are so
that.
good.
Yeah.
You guys need to
I'd
get
totally
this
play
like
that.
on a viral, like tweeting it out or something, and make it
Blizzard
happen.
All-Stars
Make it happen.
Racing.
Imagine
Yeah.
if that actually
I
happened.
would take a
by the way.
cut from that.
I heard it here first. You guys would be the faces of it. Yeah, I think I probably would go with the dancing one as well. Be fun.
We can have a dance
What would you?
off.
I would. I'd
As long
like-
as we can have the
could
World of
do a
Warcraft
team.
dances.
No,
Yeah,
it'd be fun. It'd be a competition.
Oh yeah, it's got to be the World of Warcraft dances.
What would you have?
I can't get the dancing idea. I mean, and I want it. Do you know what the best bit is? I want an esports program for it as well. I want
Yes.
Blizzard Just Dance esports, and it to be the most competitive thing in the world.
I would
That's what
love
I want.
that.
I'm not going to be a pro on that. I'll be the person learning. Anyway, we wanted to bring out the competitive edge between two of our guests here, Sko and Jari. So we asked them earlier to face off in our headshot challenge to see who can claim victory on our CS:GO aim map. It was pretty cool, but
I can't wait for this.
I'm not really a competitive guy, but
All right.
well, this is the headshot challenge. It is Sko taking on Jari. They have 60 seconds on the clock to get as many headshots as possible. But whilst they're doing that, it's not that easy because I'm going to be asking them some very tricky questions right here. Sko, are you ready to take on Jari?
I am ready.
Does it feel a bit weird?
No, feels
There
good.
we go. Easy as that. Right, whenever
Bit of
you're
competition.
ready. OK, the clock has started. So who is the more entertaining streamer?
Jari.
Who has the worst morning breath?
Jari.
They're all Jari.
It seems that way.
Who does the washing up? I think I know that one.
We do that equally
Oh.
in turn.
Nice. Who asked for the first date?
That's a good question, actually. I said hello to her first, so I guess that probably means I approached her first.
In real life or online?
In real life.
About 30 seconds. Who is better at CS:GO?
I'm hoping Scott.
Who takes longer to get ready? 3,
Jari.
2, 1.
Give me the headshot. No!
Time.
That's not
Is
bad,
it-
actually.
Oh, OK.
That's actually really good.
I'm not going to tell the scores just yet. You'll have to wait and see. Jari is up next. OK, Jari is in the hot seat right now. Sko's just been, he gave some pretty interesting answers as well. You might have to have a chat afterwards.
All right. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what he got.
OK.
But are you feeling confident?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I'm surprised that I just already shot 2, to be honest.
Well, the time has already started.
Yeah.
Who is the most entertaining streamer?
Me.
Who has the worst morning breath?
Scott.
Who does the washing up?
Me.
Who asked for the first date?
Scott.
Was it online or was it in person?
Person.
Oh. Who is better at CS:GO?
Scott.
OK, 30 seconds left. Who is the better cook?
Neither of us. We're both terrible.
10 seconds left. Who takes longer to get ready?
Me.
Who owns the most method merch?
Scott.
Who watches the most esports? 5 seconds
Scott.
left. Who makes the bed in the morning?
Me.
Who leaves the most laundry lying around?
Scott.
Stop! The clock. Excellent work. We'll find out the scores in a little bit. Oh, I absolutely love that. But I have a question. You both can't cook, so what happens?
Well, let's just say our takeout deliveries are quite expensive.
OK, fine. And have you got something to say to Sko there? You said that you have bad morning breath.
Well, I refuse to kiss Sko in the morning, so I think that says enough.
We'll let you guys sort that out off camera a bit later. But we want to tell everybody what the scores were. It's time for that reveal. I'm afraid to say your phone's going off. It's
yeah,
fine.
that's awkward.
You did not defeat your partner over there, Sko.
I did not.
No, and actually, he's going to just be talking about this for weeks to come because he is at the top of our leaderboard. What? 31!
No way!
31. Oh my God. And Jari, she kind of got the same numbers but in different order.
Yeah.
I'm devastated.
13.
It's not ideal, is it?
So you're not 4th, 5th or 6th. We're just going to keep scrolling. See if you're on that leaderboard. Are we? Let's go again. Yes! Number 9. 13. Come on, you must be pretty pleased with that. Up there, you were kind of like, I'm not
Well,
going to get anything, and then you got 13.
I'm happy I got more than 1. So
She did. She got 13, and I bet Sko is pretty pleased because he knocked Mark Hatcher off that #1 spot. We'll talk
They
about
got
that.
practice time. I didn't get any practice or anything. I want another go.
You're the host of the show.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Pipe down over there. Anyway, let's move on from that. Thank you very much for taking part of that. I loved it. So, if you guys ever wanted to expand your knowledge of World of Warcraft, experts over here, then we have just the thing for you. Mark and Sko, they took to the touchscreen earlier today to give us an insight into mythic raiding. Check this out.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the breakdown. And this week, I have World of Warcraft expert, legend, I don't know what else to call you, but it is, of course, Sko from Method. And we're going to be talking all things World of Warcraft. And we're going to be starting off talking about raiding. So what is raiding?
Raiding is pretty much the toughest challenge in World of Warcraft. It requires a lot of strategizing, a lot of team coordination. And as you can see here, it's split into 3 difficulties, starting at normal, then down to heroic, and down to mythic. Mythic is the hardest difficulty, and that's the difficulty that the best teams in the world compete against each other for the glory.
OK, well, let's talk about a little bit more education here. Let's talk about the most recent raid that was obviously available, 9 bosses, and let's talk about how many people you can have involved in this.
Yeah, so on normal and heroic difficulty, you can actually range the raid size between 10 and 25-man raids. That lets, a lot of people get together and just play together. Doesn't actually require a specific group size. On mythic difficulty, the hardest difficulty, you need 20 players to compete.
OK, and part 3 of our little tour of World of Warcraft raiding. Let's talk about the composition of the raids, because there's 3 different characters that you can have available to play.
Yeah, so if you look at the mythic difficulty again, you have roughly about 2 tanks, those guys are kind of like, standing in front of the boss, absorbing most of the damage, right in the boss's face. Then you have the healers that are playing like the support kind of role. There's about 5 of those in a 20-man raid. And then, of course, you have the DPS, which is the damage dealers, and that's kind of split between melee damage dealers and range damage dealers. And these are the guys who are there to just damage, bring the damage, take the boss down while avoiding all the raid mechanics and stuff.
Now, one quick question. What do you play? Because I think I know what you play, looking at you.
I play tank.
What a surprise. No surprise there whatsoever. Now let's talk about the battle itself, because it's not just a case of fighting a simple boss, is it? There's multiple phases to these battles.
Yeah, so this is phase 1 you're seeing here. This is actually the last fight in the most recent raid, Battle of Dazalor. You're fighting against Lady Jaina Proudmoore. This is the first phase where you're on the boat. And this is actually a boss that was very difficult. It took us over 300 pools to kill this boss. It's about 6 days, 6 days worth of effort. We're talking long days as well, 12 to 14 hours of playing. And so you can see us doing phase 1 here on the ship, where we're dealing with various different mechanics, and the fight progresses into an intermission phase, then phase 2, then another intermission phase, then the final phase 3. So this fight itself, takes over 10 minutes roughly, and you can see us going into the second intermission phase here. However, obviously before that, there was a previous intermission, which basically involved Jaina jumping off the ship into the middle of the ocean, freezing the ocean, and then you basically have to catch up with her through like a blizzard where you have very limited visibility, and carry the fight on there.
Now, one question I had for you is obviously you're talking about the final part of the battle as well, because you said how many hours go into this, how much preparation goes into this. We're talking about the final part of the battle here. How does it feel at the end when you know you're getting so close? What's that sort of mentality like?
So even to get to this stage of the fight requires a lot of focus, a lot of determination, and obviously some great play, great strategy. Because this is what we're looking at here is the last phase of the fight. You can see Jaina's health is actually extremely low on the screen here, and so we're about to go for the kill. And so at this point, the world first was still up for grabs, and we knew the other teams were close.
Look at this reaction. This is what I love most about it. This is why I'm asking the questions, because so much time, effort, sweat, blood, tears goes into it, and we just saw the reaction. I mean, how does it feel to finally get it done?
Oh, I mean, if you saw my point of view down there, I literally jumped off the floor, so it was definitely a very exciting time for me, because I don't really jump that often, so it was a lot of adrenaline, a lot of celebration. We were all playing from roughly the same place as well, so we actually managed to celebrate as a group, and it was actually,
amazing.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for giving us a little insight into raiding and, of course, World of Warcraft. But that's not, of course, all we have today on the show. We've got plenty more to show you, so let's have a look at what's coming up. Coming up next, we learn the story of Splitgate. We'll be speaking to streaming sensation Scissors. And there's plenty to look forward to in the month ahead. Plenty more still to come, as you can see. But one game that we want to talk about a little bit is the game that is taking the office by storm, and that is, of course, Splitgate. Now, if you like Halo, you like Portals, you might do. You played a lot of Halo growing up?
Yeah, I played a lot of Halo growing up, yeah.
OK, well, this might be the game for you. We were lucky enough to catch up with the developers of Splitgate to see how the game came together.
So Splitgate, well, a lot of people would describe it as old school Halo mixed with Portal. The biggest thing about Splitgate is that it fundamentally changes the way that arena shooters are played. I'm Ian Prue. I'm the CEO and co-founder of 1047 Games.
I'm Nicholas Bagamian, and I'm the CTO at 1047 Games.
1047 is the address of the dorm that Nick and I were in. We ended up getting put into this old frat house that turned into a dorm, but they didn't have a name for it, so it was just 1047. We couldn't think of a good name. We're not very good at coming up with names.
Right now we're in our Atherton office in the Bay Area.
It's my parents' old office, actually, at their house.
This is kind of where the first little bit of the company was here.
Started off as a school project with the idea of like, let's put portals into a first-person shooter. When we were getting ready to graduate, my co-founder Nick and I were sort of like, man, we have a real opportunity here. Our game's very fun, it's very unique, and we love doing what we're doing. So let's go after this. It's perfect time is now. Nick, he had already accepted a full-time offer from Amazon.
I mean, he convinced me to not pursue the job and pursue the game, and then at that point, I was in it for the long run. Basically, at the end of the day, the experience that I've had working on this game is nothing I would have got elsewhere. The month leading up to launch was a really stressful experience.
Nick was going to bed at 9 a.m. every day, getting up at like 11:30.
I was up for 62 hours straight.
He's like, I'm going to sleep right now. I'm gonna wake up and I'm not gonna sleep until launch.
I wouldn't recommend anyone go through that.
On the 22nd, we were supposed to launch at 9 a.m. At 5 a.m., everybody finished everything. At 6 a.m., we tested it. The first game, somebody crashed. At that point, we're like, all right, we can't ship this. This thing is not tested, guys. There's gonna be other sloppy errors. We haven't slept for 3 days. And so that was a very difficult conversation. We thought we were gonna pull this off. We didn't want to let our community down. We basically slept that whole day for like 8 hours and then got up at 8 p.m. and then just pulled another 2 all-nighters in a row. But then we pulled it off.
When launch day came and we hit that button, to me it was sort of a relief. That month of hard work kind of came to a close.
The coolest thing was seeing the competitive players. Ogre 2, for example, I've been a fan of him forever, since the Halo 2 days. Seeing the fact that this legend that I grew up watching playing Halo is playing my game and he's loving it, and he's playing the next day and the day after that, that was just so exciting to see.
To have such a personal product out is both stressful and rewarding.
Oh, get off me!
Sometimes I kind of sit back and I'm like, wow, like, I really made this.
This has been about making the game that I love, that a lot of people don't have. There's nothing out there that brings you back to your childhood right now, at least for me.
I never really thought that this is where it would be. It is really rewarding, and it's been an amazing experience, and I'm really excited to see the future of it.
Well, Mark, you were watching that video there quite closely.
I was.
What are your thoughts on that? You look pretty excited about it.
I mean, I love, arena shooters. FPSs are my jam, is what I do. So, yeah, can't wait to play some more Splitgate. It looks like a lot of fun. Ogre 2 loves it. I absolutely love Ogre 2. So, my favourite part of the whole thing...
over here.
My favourite part of the whole thing, though, is like how they were up for, they said, for 3 days. Then they had a full day of sleep, which apparently is 8 hours.
It just sounds like what these guys do over here at WoW.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you're right.
no one sleeps in this world. Anyway, someone I hope is sleeping because she's carrying a little baby on board over here is our next guest, Scissors. How are you doing?
Good, really good, thank you.
Well, I'm really excited to hear about your journey and to share it with everyone else. But for those of you who don't know much about Scissors, here's a little glimpse into what she gets up to.
He got trapped in his own trap. Oh, that is excellent. That is excellent. I want to quit this. Ah! Okay. Why don't we put the container down? Because I haven't...
So I'm just going to pick up with like the fact that we were all laughing, but then ask you how long it took to make that food and then how long it took to just ruin it.
I hate seeing food ruined, even virtual
Virtual food.
It
was actually heartbreaking. Yeah.
What was it? What was it?
It took about 10 minutes, and obviously you have to that game's ridiculous. Like you have to cut everything precisely into quarters, and then to drop it on the floor. It just I don't think I
genuinely
played for a
have
whole
like
lot
a sinking
longer.
feeling in my stomach right now, just thinking about it.
Just that, oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Absolutely. But Scissors, just tell us about your journey and how you came to join us on the sofa.
So I started in around 2014. I actually started playing WoW, and I remember I started streaming because I was playing WoW and I didn't have any friends, basically. I know.
I still don't. Don't worry. I'm still
She had no one to play with, and my partner was like, join Twitch because you can meet people like similar-minded, and then it just escalated, and now it's like 5 years later and I'm still here, so I must be doing something right or wrong, as you see by that clip.
I love it. I think it's so funny. But you guys, well, you knew of Jari a little bit before she was kind of a method as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I remember watching her like 5 years ago, like playing karaoke.
Wait, what?
Like, yeah, she was like singing with her viewers.
Someone dig that up at home. I want to see the karaoke. I want to see the karaoke.
I don't think you'd be able to find it, to be honest.
Thankfully, Twitch only saves VOD for like 60 days, so it's...
that sounds like someone's gone back through and looked at
I
those.
remember your song. What were you singing?
Oh, gosh, I can't even.
Everything and anything.
Everything and anything.
I just remember thinking, oh, this is a really fun stream. Like, I kind of want to be like that one day.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And why did you kind of just get involved in it in the first place? What made you want to start streaming?
I mean, I was just doing it because I've got my first stream on YouTube and it's shocking. Like, I'm like this.
I'm sure it's not that bad.
No, it is.
Okay.
It is. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm like a deer lost in headlamps. But, like, it was literally, I just did it because I was playing and I was like, oh, I'll meet people, like I said. And then it just, took off and I met some amazing people, like, from it and, like, been given so many great opportunities. It's a really, really great platform.
That's amazing. I mean, I wanted to kind of pick your brains a little bit because obviously you got yourself into a position now where you have a really solid community behind you who watches when you stream. What advice would you be giving to some budding streamers? And this is, you know, not only to yourself, but maybe open up because I know pretty much everyone on this couch has streams when they're playing video games. I mean, what would your advice be?
To me, like, obviously you've got to have fun doing it. If you're not having fun, then why are you doing it in the first place? But it sounds weird, but you have to be, like, you have to think as a viewer, like, why am I watching this stream? What are you giving that makes the viewers want to watch it? Whether it's, like, amazing gameplay or you've got an amazing personality and you're obviously bringing something to the table. Like, people aren't going to watch someone that isn't having fun and is just sitting there just playing a game because they can do that themselves.
Don't know how I get viewers then.
No, but I guess
you're really good. That was it.
Yeah, it's amazing gameplay. Do you know what I mean?
And was there ever, you know, a bit of advice that anyone gave you as well along the way that you've really taken to heart, and that's kind of what got you into it, or has made you where you are now?
I don't know about any in particular piece of advice, but I do think that it's really important to collaborate with other streamers. I mean, this is a community platform, right? That everybody is doing the same thing. Why not, you know, play games with other streamers or collaborate with them in whatever you do on your stream, and that way everybody can grow together.
I want to see that collaboration happen. Anyway, with all these guys.
Collaborations, though.
I know.
Speaking of collaborations.
OMEN, we're going to chat to you about that and how that came about and when it did, because it's quite new, isn't it?
Yeah, OMEN approached me back in January, and like, I've never had like a proper sponsorship. Like, this was the biggest opportunity I've like been given throughout my Twitch career. And they were like, yeah, we're going to fly you out to Vienna and you're going to do a photo shoot. I'm like, wow. Me? Have you seen my stream? And then obviously a couple of days afterwards, I found out I was pregnant and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, but they've been really good about it, and I've like met some amazing people and got to stream, because we do crossover streams where basically it's another member of the OMEN squad teaching me how to play a game. And I remember it was 2 hours like last week of me and Cyanide playing PUBG, and I didn't even get a kill.
There's a reason.
Not even
I won't even attempt that game.
No, we did win. We won our first game, but then that was it.
That's all that matters then.
Yeah.
What, are you 100% record?
Yeah, I mean,
Easy.
I died to the last guy remaining and gave him the opportunity to, you know, so I set it up.
For the
yeah, I set it up.
Absolutely.
Such a nice person.
Yeah, I know.
Well played.
And how do you see this kind of collaboration going forward? What, you know, do you hope to, where do you hope to go from here?
I mean, I love streaming. I always have done, and in my head, I just want to, I'm so grateful for like every single day that I get to do this full time. Like, I just want to like keep it going as long as I can. And if people still want to watch me, then hey, like let them. I'll let them.
And just for the people at home as well, give them your Twitch link while you're here, just very quickly. Where can we watch you?
Twitch.tv/SizSars.
Sis.
There's a lot of S's and a lot of Z's in it, but you'll find it. Just maybe if you even if you type it on Twitter, the GIFs. I've got like a GIF section of just me as a crab, so you want to have a look at that as well.
If that doesn't make you want to go and follow and substances as I don't know what will. But obviously, thank you very much for answering some questions from us. But, you know, there's been some other stuff that's been going on at the moment. I've been doing stuff, Rachel. You haven't asked me about what I've been doing.
Mark,
I feel a little bit hurt.
what have you been doing?
Well, thank you for asking. It's funny that you ask. Face It returned to the UK this month with ECS London 2019, and I had the chance to head to Wembley Arena and meet up with Esports Photographer of the Year, and not only that, all-round amazing human being, Joe Brady, to give us an insight onto how he shoots the events.
Oh, no. 3, 2, 1. You can have one.
Oh, it's good to see you.
You too, man. I actually started as a music photographer. Yeah. So I used to tour all around the world with bands and stuff. And then I'm a huge gamer as well. So I started shooting like gaming events, and it just kind of like one thing led to another. And yeah, I've been doing esports now, like just esports for like 3.5 years, I think. I better do this. I'll see you in a bit, boys.
I personally love shooting CS because, you know, being able to support the scene and see the crowd loving it and getting involved, and yeah, it's just awesome, and I love giving back with what I can do to the Counter-Strike community. I think my favourite aspect of shooting esports is just being able to tell the stories of the events, just being able to capture that raw emotion and the passion. I love capturing those moments, the one-off situations that you can't really recreate, capturing that for their memories. You know, when they're older, they might have that picture on the wall and be like, hey son, look, that's when I was a Counter-Strike champion, and just being able to be involved in that is quite special, I think. There's one photo I took at Katowice in 2016 of Olifmeister, and it was the moment that they won the whole tournament in Poland, and everything just came together in that photo. For me, it was quite a special photo, and Fnatic actually went on to print that photo on a mouse mat. They've got it printed like huge up in their headquarters. I think that's personally my favourite photo I've taken.
This is probably the most stressful part, because it's the one-shot wonder. Like, if you miss it, that's it. So, yeah, this is where all the pressure is, I think. But, you know, I've not messed one up yet, so touch wood. That's not wood, that's metal. I've jinxed it.
Frenchmen that stand tall, ready to claim. What is this?
Counter-Strike is personally my favourite game, and being able to shoot in my home country, just incredibly special. It all kind of began as an accident, to be honest, so it's just kind of one thing has led to another, right place, right time, and never looked back, really.
Amazing stuff there from Joe Brady. Amazing stuff at the ECS 2019 as well. Huge thanks to Face It for inviting us along. And you can see what a talented man he is.
I love it.
I love you, Joe.
You get in the action, don't you? Without getting that stressed, even though he did say it's quite stressful at sometimes. But
another thing is like how he captures those moments for the players as well. Like it's an art form. He's amazing.
It is, right, but next up, it's time to speak to another guest over here.
Speaking of artworks.
It's Stumpy, and Stumpy, obviously we've introduced every other guest with a video.
Very nice video, which anyone is lucky to have.
Yeah, but we haven't got one for you.
Cool.
No, that's because when I started Googling Stumpy, I went on Twitter and I came across his Twitter page, and his Twitter headline picture kind of stopped me in my tracks, so I thought I had to show it to you guys. It's him in a bathtub.
I feel like I should explain myself.
I feel like you really should explain yourself.
So I thought it was mine and my girlfriend's first holiday away. We went to Malta. It was a lovely thing, really, really nice place. For some reason, there was a bath in our bedroom. Don't know why, just a really small bath in our bedroom. And I thought, there's nothing more romantic than her taking a picture of me, looking a little like, "Ooh, you caught me," in the bar. And I've got legs that don't quit. as we all know. So I thought, let's display them for the world to see.
I still love that there's nothing more romantic than that, is it?
There's nothing.
There's
That's
nothing.
a blanket statement that I will stick by.
Is it quite a conversation starter as well? It seems like it is.
Yeah, so when I put it up, my dad sent me a WhatsApp message saying, "Did you mean to do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And he went, "Okay."
Delete this number.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I absolutely love it. But let's just chat about your crew. We've heard about everyone else's. You know, you used to play yourself and now you're a caster. Like, talk us through your journey.
So it started everything with Rocket League. So it came out in 2015. Went to a friend's house to play that. He had it on PS Plus because it came out as free on that in its first week. And I thought, that's all right. Went back home, and I don't have a console. So one of my friends actually bought me Rocket League so I would then play with him. And I was like, OK, I'll give it a go. I've now got...
It's one of his mates goes out and buys him the game. And he's like, oh, all right then.
We sort of played together. I was playing it and we weren't together. He then stopped after about sort of like 5-6 hours. I've got just over 3,500 hours in that game now. And it basically got to a point where I was watching streams, and I stream with Cole, also have a TV show with Cole, half business, and I was watching him stream, and he said that I was funnier than him in Twitch chat, even with 15 seconds of delay.
Oh.
So I was like, you know what, I'll take that. So he said, do you want half on business? And I was like, go on then. I was still in uni.
That's usually one of those things
As you do.
Someone offered you half business, you do your due diligence. Yeah, and you're like...
I also said to him, that's the worst offer he could have made. He should have gone 70-30.
Yeah.
But he went, no, do you want half off? I was like, yes. So I did that. And then the first real thing that I ever did in esports was here in the Gfinity Elite Series casting the Rocket League. An amazing break for myself. It's such a big platform. I absolutely adored doing it. And that was my first stepping stone on a pretty decent career sort of in esports.
Now, you've had a little bit of a look change from the Elite Series as well last time that we worked together, because obviously we can't...
My eyesight's got
I was about to say we were about to commentate in Rocket League. But tell us about the chop, because that must have been a big thing for you.
Yeah.
You know,
so
I know how it feels.
When I was at uni, I basically got long hair because haircuts were expensive. I lived in Cambridge, and it was like about 30 quid for a haircut.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'm not doing that. Seeing as where I was, my local village, it was £5 for a haircut. So instead of going home and getting it, I thought, you know what, I just don't have a haircut anymore. It got down to past my collarbone.
It's there.
It was quite long.
Oh, look at
and then I chopped off. This
so
was like, I think 2 weeks ago. And I went to, my girlfriend booked me in for a haircut. And I went and got it all chopped off. And then...
See, mine did that and it never grew back. That was the only problem. It was just a big pile on the floor.
Mr. Steal Your Girl. And yeah, it went much shorter. Yeah, it's down to past my collarbone about 2 weeks ago, around there-ish. And I just got annoyed with it. It was getting hot. I was like, no, I'll just give it a chop. But I said to her, halfway down the neck, how's that? She went, yeah, sounds good. I just cut. Committed to that, haven't we?
There it is. I think you look great.
Also, how difficult was it to transition into being a caster? Was it quite nerve-wracking?
The first week of the Gfinity Elite Series is still one of my most nerve-wracking things I've ever done. Honestly, it was the same as having that haircut. I'm not even kidding. The nerves were the same as me sitting in that chair, because I haven't done it for like 2 years. But coming into here, obviously an amazing studio, there's cameras everywhere. I hadn't really done it before. It was terrifying, but now every single time that I'm asked to do an event, I'm like, yes, let's do it. And I'm always so excited to get involved.
I wanted to ask you about something that happened very recently as well last weekend. We had the RLCS. Vitality taking home the win. Come on, Europe. We did it.
So good at Rocket League.
We are. We're great at Rocket League, as simple as that. But what are your thoughts on that? And also the future of Rocket League esports?
Vitality, they are hands down the best team in the world at the moment. They beat Cloud9 quite handily. They did really, really well there. They beat them 4-0 in a best-of-7 series. Didn't drop a game against them. In the quarterfinals, they managed to beat the probably favourites, or one of the favourites for this tournament, 3-1. Then in the finals, they went 4-1 against G2.
Wow.
Gigantic squads, and they just systematically broke them down, and they could hardly get a shot on there. It was incredible.
And in literally 15 seseconds, for some people who aren't Rocket League fans, explain who Scrub Killer is, because this is crazy.
Started playing when he was like 12, is now one of the best players in the world, and played the prequel, Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars, when he was 6 years old.
I love that. Once more.
Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars.
Love it.
Got it.
Smashed it, well done, mate. But yeah, Scrub Killer's just phenomenal, and he's just won himself 200 grand, and he's like 16.
Yeah,
that's
it's
nice.
not a bad weekend, is it, for a 16-year-old?
And he's from Scotland.
And he's from
had to
Scotland.
get that in.
I wasn't going to mention.
Goes a fan. Anyway, yeah, that's going to do it all for now for Stumpy. Thank you so much for having a little chat with us here. We've got plenty more to come, though. Let's have a little look and a reminder of exactly what's coming up. Still to come on today's show. We'll be back for round 2 of the Rocket League Challenge. And finally, we're seeing what's to come in the month ahead.
Okay, well, I'm pretty excited for what is coming up next because it is time for the hotly contested Rocket League Challenge now, and time to see which of you at home made the right call to grab themselves some Omen by HP goodies. Okay, I want to see if I was able to keep Lottie's winning streak up from episode 1.
Smile. So we're back. Here we are again for the Rocket League Challenge, and I've got myself a new teammate this time. Richard Timms, you were terrible last time, so I've brought in Scissors. How are we feeling about this? Because, as you might know, unfortunately, Team Lottie took home the win last time.
I mean, I think you've been stitched up again because I've got 0 hours in Rocket League.
OK, well, I mean, speaking of hours, we should probably introduce the other team. Rachel, welcome along. Obviously, your first time here at the Rocket League Challenge, representing Team Lottie, and Mr. 3,500 hours himself, Stumpy.
Mate. Hello, mate. It's good to be back, isn't it?
This is the stitch-up of all stitch-ups.
I don't know what you mean. I mean, this is going to be, a pretty even match, I hope. I think we're all here to have fun at the end of the day, do you know what I mean?
No, Stumpy, we're here to win, aren't we?
Oh, sorry, wrong script. We're here to win, we're going to beat you. There we are, see, straight at it, that's all we need.
I missed the ball.
You missed the ball.
No, I was going to score straight away! Come on!
Yes!
Esports fist bump. Esports fist bump.
You were going straight.
That's 100% my fault.
You were going straight for it and you missed the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Positivity.
Go on, mate.
It's frozen.
What? Where are you?
Oh,
Stumpy!
What is he doing?
Go on. Yes!
Esports fist bump. Esports fist bump.
3,500 hours.
So remember, we all have items, OK? We can use them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? Do you remember your key?
Don't tell him what to press.
Should we use I'm going to use our special item. Ready? Right.
No! He's going to... Quick!
Don't dare.
Turn off the PC.
No, we're good. I've got this.
Oh, that was everything.
I think my spiky... Oh, there. I'm stuck with it.
Drive with the goal. On the goal.
No, that goal, Rachel.
He's learning. He's like
wow,
AI.
we're actually...
He's like a really slow AI. Go on.
Come on.
Yes! We win! Well, that was it, right? That was the thing.
I'll take one.
That was the thing. Scissors, fist bump.
Right. Tell you what, if you guys get half the goals we score, you win.
No.
OK, sorry. Sorry, my bad.
You scored 5, I scored 1.
Go on, that's going in, by the way, just heads up.
Yes!
I called
Maybe
it.
we should just sit in their goal.
Guys, how does it feel being Brazil in this Germany-Brazil type scored game? How does that feel?
I'm just saying that Brazil didn't win that World Cup, so it's fine.
I've got a question for you. Did you used to be a Rocket League caster?
Yeah. But we all know the rules. If you can't play, you coach, and if you can't coach, you cast. So that's the rules of everything.
I think they are the rules, actually. The next game went next week.
I literally exploded.
Uh-oh.
Does she hit it?
Oh,
no!
God.
And goal.
Stumpy's just like...
There we are.
Oh.
GG. Do you fancy a rematch, guys? Or
I fancy the fact that we've got a lot more to talk about on the rest of the show. Congratulations, of course, to Team Lottie, to Rachel, and to Stumpy. Commiserations to us.
It was always going to happen, wasn't it? Let's face it.
And I seem to have, no luck when it comes to the Rocket League Challenge. But unfortunately, I'm now 2-0 down. So congratulations, guys. Begrudgingly, well done. 3,500 hours. How are they ever going to lose?
Oh,
it's really weird. I've got somewhere to be.
1.
Should
we just do this fist pump again? Just one more time.
That was almost like the Scoring Jerry headshot challenge, I think.
I'm so glad that someone deflected away from me for a second. Rachel's about to have another go. So
Are you feeling OK?
Go on. Yeah, fine.
Because also, Team Lottie, I think they're 2-0 up now.
Yeah, and I can't wait to play with someone with 3,500 hours. I mean, both of us would have won if we had Stumpy on our team.
Hang on. How many goals did you score?
1.
I scored 2 on my own.
You did?
So even if it was just you and I head-to-head, I would have still beaten you. Anyway.
There's so much to look forward to in the coming weeks. Let's just leave that for a moment. There is so much to look forward to in the coming weeks. Almost too much to get our heads around. Luckily for you guys at home, we've put together a little guide as to what to note down in your diary. Epicenter Moscow. The last Dota major of the year comes to a close. CEO 2019. One of the fighting game community's most unique events returns to Daytona Beach.
What does it mean to you? What does it mean to all of the Norarengo players?
ESL One Cologne. For the 5th year, CSGO returns to Germany. OWL Stage 3 playoffs. The Overwatch League's 2nd season continues with its 2nd home game in Atlanta. WCS Summer 2019. The StarCraft 2 scene celebrates its 2nd major of the year.
Okay, right. Well, we've still got these guests for a couple of minutes, so I just want to see what you guys have got coming up next. Go. I know you mentioned that Method have got some exciting things on the horizon, as always.
So, I mean, if anyone likes World of Warcraft and they like epic events, there is the next Race to World First coming up on July the 16th. That's when we kick it off. That's in about 3 weeks from now. So make sure you tune into the Method channel for that. That's going to be a big thing.
Absolutely, guys. What else has everyone else got on their agenda? Obviously, a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the biggest thing on the agenda right now.
I mean, yeah, like delivering babies and dropping more food, probably for me.
When's it due?
23rd of September.
Oh, so exciting.
Oh,
so
I have a
close.
friend with a birthday on 23rd September.
Really, my birthday's 24th, so...
There we go. It could be a
twins,
birthday
yeah.
baby. Stumpy? Obviously, lots
There's
of Rocket
a
League.
big Rocket League events coming up in DreamHack. We have one in Valencia in mid-July, and then we've also got Montreal towards the end of the year. $100,000. If you like Rocket League, definitely tune into them.
Jerry, you want to come back because I kind of missed you? But quickly before you...
You know, I've got things coming up, but they're not necessarily esports related.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
Lots of different bits.
Yeah,
karaoke, one of them?
No, not karaoke. You know, karaoke's not one of my strong suits. But yeah, I'm in a makeup competition at the moment in the UK called the Next Face Awards, and yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Multi-talented people. Well, good luck with everything you have going on. But right now, it's time to hand over to Mark with our competition winner.
Thank you very much. Very excited, of course. And thank you to everyone who has, of course, entered into the competition for today. But I have the great power to reveal who has won our competition. And it is the White Road. I can't read. The White Road. Congratulations to you on winning the competition. We're in touch with everything that we need to do to get you your prizes. Fantastic stuff. But before we close things out, I actually have a little bit of a question that's come in from Twitter as well for some of the guys on the couch, which is coming in from Real Diacor. And he says, what do you think that the deal with Epic Games owning Psyonix now to do with the games and the community? Full details, please. And he's very specific. Full details, please. So full details, please, ladies and gentlemen on the couch. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I guess that is a question really for Stumpy over there. If you could read it. If not, I'll just go for it again. What do you think the deal with Epic Games owning Psyonix now do to the games and that community?
I personally, I know people don't like Epic at the moment. There's a few sort of backdoor things going on. People aren't a fan of what they're doing with the store. I think it
Back
is...
again. Don't worry, everyone.
It's all about you, is it, on set? I think it's fantastic. I really like it. I'm excited to see what they can do. There's a lot of money, obviously, with Epic, coming from the Fortnite side of things. So if there's stuff from that and sort of the marketing they've got from Fortnite, what they've learned there, if that can be moved towards Rocket League as well, it's a very family-friendly game. It's something that could be marketed a lot better. The prize pools could get larger. The events could just be even nicer. So I think it's ultimately going to be a very, very good thing for Rocket League.
Well, thank you so much for answering that question.
That's all right.
And thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Amazing stuff. Well done. Okay, brilliant stuff. Thank you. Well, that is all we have time for tonight. I feel like time has just flown by today, hasn't it? Rachel, you've absolutely killed it. Great to have you alongside me. We'll be back again on the 24th of July to do it all again. Thank you all for watching. Good night.